you guys, happy Sunday and welcome back to my channel. I am the Concrete Catwalk and this is my channel. So I just want to welcome you all back, say hey, hi, and thank you for watching. And before we get into this, I do want to give a hey and a hello to a very good friend of mine who has Blush Republic, which is a beautiful floral shop that is in the heart of downtown Ellicott City, Maryland. It is a beautiful store, and I just want to say thank you to her for allowing me to enjoy that moment with her almost a week and a half ago. And it was an excellent experience, and for that I am eternally thankful that you let me share that moment with you and your fantastic family. So again, thank you. But today I want to get into it. I got a little bit of tea, and I have some tea. Ooh, and it's hot. But I want to get into it today. This is going to be a top 10 situation. This is going to be a top 10 video, but it's going to be top 10 things that I personally find, which are my pet peeves, about thrifting and going into the thrift store and resale. I love it. I love it as much as the next, but these are the things that get next to me. These are the things that yeah, that's why they're my my top 10. So just sit back, comment below, let me know what your peeves are when you get into the business, when it's time for you to go sourcing, when it's time for you to get into trying to find things and going into the, you know, we know the big ones, you know, the Value Villages, the Goodwills, the Bins of the world. We're very familiar. We're in this thing together. So I think we all know. And I think plenty of us have had experiences where we were like, what? So I am not gonna hold out any longer. I'm just gonna get right into it. So without any further ado, these are the top 10 things that are my pet peeves at the thrift store while thrifting. So number 10, that whole business with the Sharpie, like the marker, where they take the Sharpie and they write on the bottom of a shoe, or they take that, I call it like a, what's that thing, like they used to use in art, like a grease pencil, and they take it and they put the price of whatever it is on whatever it is. It could be a plate, it could be a shoe, it could be that, whatever. That drives me bananas, because that is a lot of work when you get it and you have to, you know, get that off. You know, this is it's work. And not only that, some people really want to get into graffiti when they do it. Instead of just saying, oh, these are $3.99, it's, I can't read it. It's almost like it's hieroglyphics. Like I'm trying to decipher something that should obviously say $5.99 or $8.99 or not, whatever the 99 is going to be. Just let me know what 99 is going to be. But that whole Sharpie, grease pencil, graffiti art, please stop, because it's frustrating. But I digress. Let me stay on track with this. So 10, yeah, don't do it. Make it easy for us to know what it is. Ooh, I think number 9 is probably as difficult as number 10. And I'm sure you guys have experienced this. But that whole business with tag placement, like where they put the tag on the garment, or where they put the tag on the accessory that you really like, or the shoe you really like, to really either destroy the dress that you really like or put a hole in the leather of the leather bag that you saw that you were considering buying, or they take that tag and they put it in a place where it connects the garment, the dress together and you can't get in it. Oh my God, that is a peeve. It's almost as if you just, you know, you randomly go through and instead of saying, you know what, there's a tag right here, I can just, you know, take the gun and poke it through or whatever I'm using and just, you know, so the people can see it and it's not going to get in the way. But that never happens. Tag placement is real. That is a beast in terms of trying to try things on or finding something that is totally beautiful, that perfect vintage dress, flawless. But here we go, we got a tag placement hole in the middle of it. Again, I'm gonna say, please don't do it. Don't do it. It just makes it difficult or it ruins the Holy Grail. Moving on. Number 8. I think that you guys can probably attest to this. And this is not about something that's sitting on a rack. It's not about something that is sitting on a shelf somewhere. This is about what's going on overhead. And that is, and I'm just gonna say it, you know when you walk into the thrift store and you know it's quiet, you hear some music playing, you know, okay, you know, I can get into this. I'm just going through the racks, I'm looking through the racks, it's all good and no issues, and you know, you might hear an occasional, you know, baby cry. That's fine, I'm cool with that. That's life, that's what happens. The peeve at number 8 is when you have all of these overhead PAs, you know what I'm talking about, the public announcement, where it's, hi, valued shoppers, today is 50% off, da-da-da-da-da. But you hear that 30,000 times while you're in the store. You hear that literally 30,000 times while you're in the store. You know what time it is. You know why you're there. You know why you are there. It's 50% off. Got a coupon, I can apply it. You already know the zhuzh. You know what the deal is. You know why you're there. You know you're gonna come out with a bag because it's 50% off. You know this already going in. But they wanna let you know. The mic, you know, it's the beep beep. Hi value shoppers, hi whoever, wherever we're at shopping, it's 50% off. And did you know that you can sign up and get your value members reward? Stop it. Stop it. Just please stop it. I love it. I thank God that those things exist because it's such a fun way to go in and look for treasures, but and at a discount because you're letting me know with the announcements, but just dial it back. Just dial it back. Dial it back. I think that one of the things that I've noticed too, and this is, you know, of course we're moving back, we're dialing back, we're going to number 7, and I think that this is a challenge, and I don't know why this happened all of a sudden. It just became this thing. I think I started noticing it, I'd say probably within the last I would say within the last 4 years of sourcing and thrifting and binning and stuff, but you can literally go up and down an aisle with something that you found, a dress, could be some pants, and you just kind of want to, you know, put it up against you to see, I wonder what this looks like. The lack of mirrors in thrift stores is real. I have never seen where you couldn't go down to the end of the aisle and there was a mirror. You know, it is like a vast desert to try and find a mirror just so you can just take a quick look. I have literally walked like entire parameters just trying to even find a mirror that's being thrifted so I could just like, okay, let me just see what this looks like. Oh, let me see if this shirt would work. Let me see. Mirrors, the lack thereof is intense. I have never seen dressing rooms so full ever before, because you know why? People want to go in and they want to get in the mirror. It's not about being afraid of putting a shirt on or stepping in a dress in the open. It's about the mirror. It's about the lack of the mirror. And you have to go a country mile, literally in the store, laps, to try and find one. And I think that at the end of the day, it just adds to, I think, the totality of where this list is headed. And good God, you know, it's like things have seriously changed. No joke. So, moving right along. Number 6 on the list of pet peeves with the thrift situation. And that is, I think, something that all of us can kind of attest to. You know how when you're going through the aisles and you're looking at stuff and you know you're holding stuff up, or it could be a jacket, you know, it could be a pair of shoes, it could be, you know, it could be anything, it could be a hat, you know, off of the accessories bar that's over off to the side somewhere. But you know how you kind of get that feeling, that like sixth sense that somebody's like they're right down there, but every time you move, they move. Every time I make a move, you know, they're the next aisle over. I call those people aisle stalkers. They are the ones that cannot wait to get where you've been. You might be in that spot for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, and they hover. It might be an aisle over, it might be half the aisle up from where you are, and you know they might be doing, allegedly looking through the racks, but they're steady watching, you know, eyeballing what you're picking up, what you're putting back, you know, is he or is she gonna put that in the basket or not? Aisle stalkers, those are people who they can't wait to get in the spot where you are because they think that they are on the FOMO tip, fear of missing out, that you're gonna take something off that rack and put it in your basket, and they are not gonna get there in time if you decide you don't want it. That is the epitome of an aisle stalker. Yes, I said it, aisle stalker, and that is real, and I think you all can attest to that. And like I said before, if any of these resonate with you, please drop it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know, am I off base, on base, far from base? Did I leave anything out too? But yeah, and you know, piggybacking on that is real close, because I was kind of like tied. Should this be number 6? Should this be number 5? But I think number 5 is in the right spot, because I think number 5 is like the one that the one thing that I really just when I tell you it gets next to me, it gets next to me. And that is a shadower. That's the person where you are in the aisle. Let's put the scenario up again. You are in the aisle. You are doing the do. You are in it to win it, looking, finding stuff. You're in it. Here comes the shadow or the shadower. They are right there. They are right next to you. They are next to you. You pick up a coat, they are right there with the other coats because they want to come either right next to you or through you so that they can get their hands on whatever it is they think you are either going to skip over or want to get to it before you do. That's the shadower. That's the person where you know they recognize your tastes and they like it. You know that they recognize that you got skills and they want it. And you know that they recognize the fact that everything that you have landed in your basket is A+ #1. And they get it. They sense the energy and they're like, And I'm always conscientious about those things. And the funny part about it is, and I'll get to this as we get further down with this list, because we're almost there, we're at the halfway point, is that, you know, I always wonder, do people even think about what they're doing? Do you even, wait a minute, or maybe you do, and you just don't care. Maybe that's it. You do and you don't care. You know, it's kind of like, you know, being in personal space almost. Back up. Let me breathe. I'm gonna let you breathe. Please let me breathe. But anyway, let me keep this moving. I want to keep this moving. We don't want to drag this out. But let me, ooh. Tea is hot and it's real. So the interesting thing, you know, beyond your shadowers is you like people, you've got people in there who like to do this whole thing with the, you know, number 4. This is number 4 of the pet peeve of mine. And, you know, I don't understand this to save my life, because I believe in thrift karma. I believe if you see something and, you know, it might be out of your budget and you just, you know, I think thrift karma, you leave it there, something better, next time you go thrifting, bam, it's right there. But this whole business at number 4 with the hide and seek, yeah, the hide and seek where, and this happens notoriously in the shoe department. The hide and seek. You got a fabulous pair of boots, or a boot, sitting right there, and you're like, oh, you know, maybe it's on the lower shelf. You know, maybe I gotta, you know, duck down a little bit and look for this, and maybe. Oh, no. You got that one beautiful boot that you're running around the store like, has anybody seen this boot? Maybe it's over here. Maybe it's in here. Maybe it's in there. Hide and seek, folks. I got a little bit of news, a little bit of tea, a little bit of information. You may be real good at hide and seek, but I'm real good at find. And it's no disrespect. No disrespect. I'm just simply saying, the hide and seek, it kind of cuts people off, and it's really not cool, because the shoe came in a pair. It wasn't meant to be divorced from its partner. So going through all that energy of trying to channel and traffic it into some other hidden location, that doesn't work, because just as good as you are at strategics of hiding, there's always someone who is as adept at seeking and finding as you. Next, moving on. Number 3, I think we all can agree on, and I'm not going to dwell on it a lot, but the serious nature of overpriced. I don't know where in the last 5 or 6 years that energy has come from, but things that used to be, and I'm talking about, like, you know, that vintage dress that used to be like $2.99, $3.99, no more than $4.99, is all of a sudden now $15.99, $25.99, $49. You got it for free. I get it. You know, the business of making, you know, profitable margin, that's real. But there are a lot of people who go there because they are trying to legitimately take care of their families. They're trying to make an effort to be conscientious in terms of saving money or stretching the dollar so that they have, you know, residual funds at the end of the month. But the price of things, it's an eye-opener. Just simply in terms of looking at what has become, it's overpriced, to say the least. If something is hanging on a rack and it's priced at $24.99, it could be a dress, it could be a shirt, it could be a pair of pants, it could be a pair of shoes, and I know that I could walk into a store and buy a brand new spanking pair of shoes with no, what do you think I'm gonna do? What would you do? Number 2. And this is legit for real, the real for real, the real. And I will never, for some places that I go into, I will never get past this. And Goodwill outlet, the bins, honey, Number two, the funk. The funk is real. Walking into a thrift store and you get a little bit of a seasoning, a little bit of season of you know, you mothballs, you get it. Okay, I got you, I get it. But the funk, when you walk into, I don't know if you can even call it sometimes necessarily a store, but Ben's, yeah, whew, the funk is real. And if it's a real knit and grit thrift store, like you know, something that's like not necessarily organized, like a Value Village or a Goodwill or a Salvation Army, if it's something running along in the middle of something, the funk, the whiff, the waft, the waif, is real. Very real. But I think, you know, above all of this, and it's, you know, it's been fun. We've gone from 10 all the way up to 2, but we're about to get into something that I cannot tolerate. And I don't do it because of the simple fact that it's rude. But my number one biggest peeve, biggest pet peeve, number one at the top of this list of 1 through 10, number one that I cannot stand are other thrifters that have no manners. Other thrifters who are rude, who will literally elbow you, you know, climb over you, throw stuff. You basically encounter this at the bins, and I understand, you know, it's not for the faint of heart. I get it, but there is a real fine line between going for it, getting that bag, hustling, trying to figure out what it is that you know you want, or looking at shoes, and you know, we know finders keepers and early bird, we know that whole thing. But one thing I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna be disrespectful. I'm not gonna get up into any disagreements or try to cut somebody off from getting to something that they may really want. I'm not about that business. I would rather go when there is no challenge versus getting up into a challenge. I have seen some things at the bins where you're just shaking your head like, really? This stuff to somebody at some point was, let's be real, junk. They felt it was time to clear house. And I have seen people go, okay? And, you know, thrifting is an interesting thing because I think it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve, and I think it demonstrates to people, you know, the value in being able to be economically and socially mindful of the amount of consumption and things that go on. Yeah, I think it serves a real big lesson, but I think the biggest lesson it serves is to learn to be respectful of others, for sure. Because that whole business with thrifting and you don't have any manners and it's all about you and you want to get it in your basket and all of this stuff, at the end of the day, it's still a matter of what you think is important versus what I think is important, when in reality, none of that stuff that's laying in those bins is that important. So, there you have it. My 10-987-654-321, number one in the pet peeves in terms of what are my pet peeves when it comes down to the whole thrifting business and the whole sourcing business. So anyway, let me know what you think. Sorry that this went on, but I had to get it out. So comments down below, let me know what you think. Give me some ideas for the next video. But like I said before, I will be posting every Sunday, running through the gauntlet, trying to get comfortable with all of this, but you guys make it all worthwhile. So at the end of the day, the tea is still hot, and that was my tea for today. Love you guys. Bye.